we're changing, we're reflecting and introspecting our lives because the nature of life is change. And to accept that every day, every moment we need to change our lives is to be in harmony with the way that life moves. I was speaking this week with somebody, and I realized that in the community of yoga teachers, one of the beautiful things is when one of us is going through some challenging times, it often comes that there's a little chain of messages that goes around where people can offer support in one way or another. And particularly something unique I found in this community is that when people are facing death or close to death, that there'll be a connection at that time, that we're sort of invited to walk each other home. And it's not always possible in our communities, but something I find beautiful is that gives us the potential to connect and share for that person what they've brought to this earth and what they leave behind in a really beautiful way. The first time I worked with death through yoga was one of my close friends who came to me during some intensive treatment. She had stage 4 breast cancer, and she asked me to do some yoga with her to help with some pains and things of what she was going through. And I was really scared that I might do something that disturbs her treatment or something. And so I called a mentor who I didn't know very well, but she was in my community of teachers, and she spent the last years of her life really helping people complete their lives. She was sort of a death doula, if you will. And we had a talk, and I, told her about my friend and her health conditions and what I was worried about. And she said the words, "Well, your friend is dying." And it was the first time anybody in my circle of people in her friendships had said those words, because there was a lot of fear around those words. And so she advised me. She said, "You know what to do with her body. Don't worry about that." She said, "The biggest thing you can do is to create a space where if she needs to share her fears about death and dying, that she can be safe there, rather than receiving my fear when she brings the topic up." And so from that time, she really helped me be open with this topic before the end, which is sort of a very scary place for many of us. So that created in me an experience, like we talked about, a thematic experience to say, okay, part of what I do is being open to death, which is not something they teach you in teacher training. Through practice, we cultivate some virya, some courage, which we've mentioned. So virya is sort of the strength behind it. This idea of practice and of tapas as returning to our life can be broadly thought of as being present in your life, in your story, doing your work and leaving it for the world and letting what happens happen. Because at some point we'll all be walking home.